You're listening to Exploring Anime with Friends, a JMO for Real podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and all major podcasting networks. I'm your host, JMO!
And today's friend is my wife and co-host. How's it going today, Sarah?
Hi, everyone. It's going great today.
Awesome. You excited for this installment of Exploring Anime with Friends?
I am, of course.
Yeah, it combines two things you like a lot, video games and fantasy, right?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, today we'll be exploring the world of Shangri-La Frontier, a fantasy adventure taking place in a virtual world. First, we'll meet our main protagonist, Sunraku, the trash gamer. Afterwards, we will explore some of the complex virtual world that is Shangri-La Frontier. After that, we will introduce you to the funny bunny people of Rabbituza. Finally, you will meet some of Sunraku's PC allies and the guild that they formed together. And if you like what you hear today, remember to check us out on social media. Like, subscribe, and follow. All right, Sunraku. Talk to us about the trash gamer Sunraku.
So in this world, there's a bajillion games, and you could say that's very much like our world. There's games worth playing, and there's games just not worth playing. Sunraku, literally his whole goal for the longest time is just to play all the garbage games that are terrible, that are too glitchy, that have not great storytelling, that are just grinds to get through.
And this is VR games, because the world has gone completely VR games at this point in time. They're not playing with controls or anything. They're putting the headset on, and they're becoming immersed in the world.
Yes. So that's all he does for the longest time. And beginning of the show, he literally, it shows the end of the trash game he just played. And at the very end, he just, kicks the princess in the face and this is your fault. This whole game was your fault. And it was hilarious.
Oh my goodness, yes it was. And he's kind of legendary too, but
yes.
That definite kick at the end, as he was describing it, it was kind of like the whole payoff. You knew that she was the greater evil, but you couldn't do anything about it until the closing credits scene, and then you got to beat the crap out of her.
It was just...
He is a legendary trash gamer of the best. He is definitely someone who is known for being able to beat anything, known for being able to take on any challenge. Even if it's impossible, he takes it on anyway. He puts himself in the history books of trash gamers, and I guess gamers as a whole, because, you have to have a remarkable skill set in order to be able to do what he does.
Or remarkable patience, at least.
Yeah, that too. So, and his personality is basically what you would expect from a person like this.
Yeah.
He's got that whole little jank motif going on, but people still like him. He's a jank hero, right?
Yeah, definitely a jank hero. I like it.
When he's offline, he is very interpersonal. He talks to people. He's well-versed outside of it, but, gaming is his passion. He's got a little bit of that brashness to him.
Oh, yeah.
But you see that more in-game when he becomes the character of Sunraku. We didn't give you his real-life name. Honestly, we're not doing real-life names for this one.
There's no reason.
There are moments of real life. You see him at the store. You see him interact with family, some friends at school. But the focus definitely not on that. Talk to us about the video game personality of Sunraku. How he acts, what his emotions are like.
Oh, it's great. He's into everything. He loves it. He'll just take it on. It doesn't matter. He's in a game. I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe if I was playing a game, I'd be the same way. I would be able to take on anything and do anything because it's a video game.
Yeah, and he doesn't care about the rules because, really when it comes down to it, he's so used to playing the trash aspects that when he finally meets Shangri-La Frontier, the S-ranked title of the decade.
Yeah, the good game.
Yeah, that he finally gets talking to playing by others. He still approaches it the same exact way. He's jumping to places he shouldn't be yet. He's going off the off-beaten track, and he's just doing things the way that he wants to.
So in the beginning of Shangri-La Frontier, when he's creating his character, he realizes that if he just gets rid of the armor, gets the lowest quality gear possible, he gets more money back to buy other things. And he does it, and that's what gives him that iconic, bird mask, because it was literally, the cheapest thing there. That's why he's not really wearing, armor at all, And I don't know if I would have been willing to do that.
And he puts all that money into overinflating his luck stat. So literally, this dude is a luck glass cannon.
Yep.
And he's doing massive attacks with critical hits and everything. And he's just trying to take advantage of the crit and luck system for the game, while going around wearing no armor whatsoever.
No armor.
And a big blue bird mask over his head. Yes, that's right. A big blue bird mask over his head.
I would call it more of a helmet. I know I said mask too, but it's like a helmet. It covers the whole head and everything.
Yeah, I mean, helmet, mask, whatever you want to call it. It looks like he's going to a costume party and forgot to put on the lower half. So, and he's wearing jean shorts.
Like jean shorts, yeah. Not wearing no shoes, like nothing.
Yep, no shoes, no nothing. And he has the best possible weapons he can have equipped at the beginning, and he's dual-wielding daggers.
Yeah.
All right, now he goes into this game. Talk to us a little bit about the expansive world that is Shangri-La Frontier.
I mean, it's beautiful. If they ever made it into a game, it would be amazing.
100% playing, right?
Absolutely. Of course, this is a beautiful anime look. The artwork's great. It's your typical fantasy world. There's little monsters running around. There's big monsters, scary monsters running around. It's everything I would want in a fantasy game that had like that anime look to it.
With the exception of the fact that the town names are just...
I like the town names.
Okay, fine. Defend the town names.
It's
like honestly, I don't know the names. Like how much do you love it? It's like Firstus and like second gone or whatever. Third drama. I think it was Third Drama was the third town.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know. Like
it makes it easy.
They were just dumb. Like they might as well have named them Town 1. Town 2, Town 3.
If you're trying to follow the guide and follow everything, it makes it easy.
But yeah, no, the world is very open. It's very expansive. You get hit with a wide variety of creatures, as you said before. And there's so many different quests and sub-quests and hidden quests.
Ooh, hidden quests.
Talk to us a little bit about the concept of hidden quests and legendary creatures.
So we learned very quickly that this game has been going on for a year, and there's over 60 million people playing, and there's still things out there that people are just discovering for the first time.
Or haven't discovered at all
yeah.
You know, there's so much going on when it comes down to it. There's all sorts of hidden quests. There's no guide on how to get them.
Yeah, no one's cracked the code yet.
Yeah, they didn't release that information. It's kind of, what was it? Was it Chrono Cross or Chrono Trigger back in the day that the creator says there are still cutscenes that haven't been discovered in over like 30 years of play?
Something like that. I think it was Chrono Cross.
Chrono Cross?
Yeah.
So this is very much set up and designed like that. There's so much that it would be impossible. And there are certain quests and certain creatures that you meet that if somebody beats them, nobody else will ever get the chance to beat them again. Ooh. That are triggered by certain events that are seemingly random.
Yeah.
Talk to us about them.
So those are the legendary colossi. Dun dun dun. And the first one that Sunraku actually happens upon, he has no clue what he did to trigger it. He's literally just started the game, killing those little creatures, leveling up a little bit, thinking he's hot stuff, and he's just going off on his own path, and out of nowhere this giant wolf just like descends from the heavens, or I guess comes from the depths of the hells, whichever.
Pretty insulting to just call it giant wolf, really.
I mean, that it is insulting. So those creatures are called the 7 colossi. Once they're defeated, they are gone forever. You don't get the cool loot. It's over. Which, that threw me off, I'm not going to lie. I was like, that's crazy. So the first time Sunraku meets one of them, he's just going about his business. He just started the game. He's leveling up, and he's thinking he's hot stuff. He's got his cool daggers. He's beating little monsters. And just out of nowhere...
Well, he doesn't have just cool daggers. He has Vorpal daggers.
Ooh, Vorpal daggers, yes, which are cool.
Because he took time farming Vorpal bunnies.
Yep, he's a bunny
Vorpal
killer.
soldiers.
He's a bunny killer.
And he was warned not to go out at night because the creatures are more difficult, and that's when this whole thing happens, because he decides I'm going to go out at night.
Because that's what I do. I do those things. Out of nowhere, this giant, enormous wolf appears, and it's not just a wolf.
No, it's not.
This is Lycagon the Night Slayer, one of the 7 colossi. And Sunraku's like, oh, well, that wasn't intentional.
He quickly realizes this creature is a mythical creature, is a legendary creature. It's a unique encounter. And he's like, oh, bring it on. This is why I put the trash games to the side, because this is what Shangri-La Frontier is about. And he starts to do battle. Want to talk a little bit about this battle?
It was fairly one-sided, but that was to be expected when he's like a level whatever little puny player.
Was it really one-sided though? Because
he did decent.
He wasn't getting hit, and he was unleashing a series of critical hits one after another.
He wasn't hurting him like a gun though.
No, he wasn't hurting like a gun anything real, but at the same time, it's like I would argue that if it was one-sided at all, Senraku was owning like a gun because nothing was hitting Senraku, right?
I mean, for a little bit there, but even the luckiest character in the world is going to get hit by a boss like that.
Yes, and tell us what happens when that hit happens.
Well, I mean, technically he died. Tear, the end. But with that also was basically a curse mark appears on him. And the curse mark's great. It's wonderful. He can't wear armor where the curse mark is. And it's practically like all over his body.
Yeah, I think it occupies 2 of the 4 armor slots.
Yeah.
He can equip helmets and he can equip shoes. He has been marked by the Nightwalker. And that allows him to trigger a special event. And if you like what you're hearing so far, make sure to check us out on social media, like, subscribe, and follow, and make sure to watch this anime for yourself. You can find it on Crunchyroll. All right. One thing leads to another. He's got the mark, and he has the Vorpal blades. There's no guide or anything, so we don't know for a fact that these are the 2 things that lead to it. There could be even more, or it could be simpler. But the point is, no one has ever found the land of Rabatuza before. A little rabbit named Emil comes forth and leads him to a place called Rabatuza. First, talk to us about Emil, and then talk to us about Rabatuza.
I love Emil, first things first. She's adorable. She's a little rabbit wearing clothes. Like, what is there not to like about that? And she matches the adorable motif. It's not like she's a scary, evil rabbit. She's a cute little rabbit. So, I love Emil.
Absolutely adorable.
Yeah, so Emil leads him to Rabatuza, and you're like, well, what's a Rabatuza? Well, while he was in Random City, she just, like, opened up a portal. And he followed her because that's what you do in video games.
Less of a portal, more of a gateway. It was like a really nice, ornate door.
Okay, yeah, you're right. It was definitely much better. So Rabatuza is like the city, either in a pocket dimension or just a slightly different plane or something like that, full of rabbits. Really cool rabbits, though. Vorpal bunnies.
Vorpal bunnies, yes.
Really cool Vorpal bunnies, though.
And Emil takes Senraku into this world to present him before Vaisash, or as Senraku calls him, Don Vaisash. Talk to us a little bit about Don Vaisash.
Or as Emil calls him, Boss. Also Dad.
Yes, because he's the father of all Rabatuza.
He's got to be the father of all Rabatuza.
You know those bunnies.
Like, Emil's really small and cute. The Boss, he's the opposite. He's big. He's not ugly. He's very, like, war-worn, I guess, is what I'm going for. Physically.
Yeah,
like,
that scar over that one eye looks
yeah.
awesome. He looks like a complete BA.
He does. He really does. And he's definitely got, like, Mafia Boss vibes going on.
Yes, but not just Mafia Boss vibes. He also has, like, Shogunate vibes going on, too.
No, yeah. He's definitely...
And he's there because he wants to help train Senraku to be, like, he recognizes his Vorpal soul, and he wants to train him to be one of his own. And that's the whole thing that we're going through. He puts some restrictions on him at first and then allows him to go through and get stronger, develop, and work on it. He puts him through a series of tests in a coliseum, and eventually he is satisfied enough, and not just satisfied enough, he's thrilled enough with Senraku to where he puts him as one of his personal champions. They learn all about all the different journeys. He gives them access to all the different parts of Rabatuza. But there's one in particular that it becomes very important as the story goes along, because she ends up traveling with her younger sister Emil and Senraku a few times. And talk to us a little bit about the blacksmith, Belak.
I like Belak as well. Belak's a little bit bigger than Emil. She's a nice dark brown color. I'm sorry, I like describing them. They're cool. They're rabbits. They're cool. And she's a blacksmith. She's kind of got a little chippiness to her that's fun. And
very Brooklyn, right?
Very Brooklyn. Thank you. I was like, I knew it was a city. I didn't know which city. Yeah, very Brooklyn honor for sure.
Rabbit is basically Rabbit New York City,
Probably,
but if it looked more like a country.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like she kind of tries to provide Sunraku a little more grounding, because when he's about to do something crazy, she will let him know, no, this is crazy, you shouldn't do this, why are we doing this? But he ends up doing it anyways.
Yeah, no, they definitely have a great relationship, and both of them help him on the battlefield a few different times too. So like Emo is a powerful spellcaster.
Oh yeah, nice.
And Belok is amazing with is it a Warhammer?
I think so.
But yeah, she's helping upgrade all of Senraku's equipment, but there's one specific task that she cannot do, that she calls her father out of retirement for. And he willingly does it because Senraku and his friends are going to take on another one of the 7 Colossi, Weathermon the Tomb Guard. He crafts some very special Vorpal blades, the Waning Moon and the Waxing Moon. These blades really help to give Senraku a massive advantage. He doesn't pull them out too often. He just reserves them for the right spots. Mm-hmm. But they're absolutely amazing legendary weapons that are crafted by an ancient blacksmith. And that is Don Viceash. And after it, Senraku realizes one of his missions is to get Belok to that level of craftsman.
Yep.
So he'll do whatever he can to make this NPC stronger. But backtracking for a moment, I mentioned Weathermon. The whole thing with Weathermon doesn't exist if it wasn't for an enemy turned ally from another game that he encountered in Shangri-La Frontier. Talk to us about the former Pencilgon, who is now Arthur Pencilgrass.
This is a person I don't like as much, but she's fun, so,
Honestly, I think she's an amazing character. We could disagree on her all you want. We have different ships in this game.
We do. We have very different ships. You're shipping Sunraku and Pencilgon?
100%.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, Cyger Zero can't even talk to him.
She will, though. I have faith in Cyger Zero.
Well, we're going to talk about Pencilgon first, though, and we'll get to Cyger Zero at the end of this one.
All right. So in previous games, Pencilgon has known Sunraku, and they've actually butt heads quite a bit.
Multiple times. There was like this old medieval game where they were protecting the kingdom.
She took over.
She's like, she took over, and like it became about battling a PC as the final boss, and Senraku and his buddy Katsu were able to take her down.
Oh no, it was
at
funny.
The cost of them.
So at first, when you meet Pencilgon, she's like out for blood for a minute there because she sees him. But after a little bit, and after they have a little bit of a tangle...
But she's more amused that he's there.
Yes.
And she's actually kind of excited, too.
No, that's definitely sure.
She hides that behind fake bloodlust, really, when it comes down to it.
Well, that, and she's known as a player killer. Anyone who's killed a fellow player for no real reason other than greed or whatever, they have a skull symbol on their name when their name pops up. So she's a known player killer. So at first, Sunraku's like, oh crap, that's Pencilgon, and she's a player killer. What am I going to do? It's a pretty fun fight to watch as a whole. Pencilgon does always look like she's out for blood, though. She's got this manic look in her eyes.
Yeah, but it's not just a manic look. She's also a manipulator, too. And when she realizes that Sunraku's playing, and when she realizes that Katsu's playing, Katsu's short for something. I forget what it's short for. Oikatsu?
Oikatsu?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Like they call each other, they don't care.
They don't care.
They have nicknames for each other because they've all been playing a long time. Pencilgon has always been a notorious player in these games. And I believe she's a model in real life, too, right?
I think yeah.
They cover that. Katsu is a professional gamer who has teamed up with Sunraku in multiple trash games multiple times. They've always had fun together, and typically with Pencilgon as the antagonist. Mm-hmm. But the three of them form an unlikely alliance together. Talk to us a little bit about the alliance and its name.
It's a very fun alliance, I gotta admit it. Even though I'm not a huge Pencilgon fan yet, they call themselves Wolfgang, because their goal is to go after the Colossi.
And Pencilgon has information on where Weathermon is, and she doesn't like the fact that the more or less dark guild, the guild of player killers that she has been a part of, she doesn't want to be a part of it anymore, because the background story of Weathermon really like touched her in a way that nothing has ever spoken to her before. And she realizes that this guild of player killers is getting stronger just by losing to it. Because, by the way, huge XP influx if you're actually able to even face off against one of the 7 Colossi. You don't even have to beat it. You just have to face it. So they've been farming, getting killed, and, moving on. But she is like, I want to put an end to this, and I want you two to help me. If anyone can pull this off, it is Katsu, Senraku, and myself.
Yeah.
And they dive into it together. It's awesome. And we're not going to talk much about that.
Great battle.
But they form that guild, and they have a little bit of a partner, right? Like,
yes.
They have a little bit of a partner who's not a part of the guild yet.
Who hopefully will be.
They meet up a few times with a character by the name of Saiger Zero, the Attack Master. Talk to us about Saiger Zero and her real-life counterpart.
So in real life, Saiger Zero knows who Senraku is, but he doesn't know who she is. He probably doesn't even know that she plays the games. And she has the sweetest, the biggest crush on him. It's adorable. That's my ship, and I'm sailing it.
And yet she can't even, say a simple word to him whatsoever.
Shy.
Emil's adorable. You're not shipping that, right?
Emil's a bunny?
Well,
no.
There are jokes made about that during the course of it, during the course of the anime multiple times. Like Senraku is 100% opposed to it, though. That's all you need to know.
I mean, she's a small bunny. I don't even know how. Never mind. Anyways, but in the game, Saiger Zero is the Attack Master. She's wearing this big, beefy armor. When at first, you just see this character walk by in this big, heavy armor, I just assumed it was a dude. I didn't think anything of it, really. But yeah, it's her, the sweet, cute, quiet girl in real life, is the Attack Master. I don't know how you get titles in this game, but she had to have done something crazy to get this title. And she reaches out to Senraku, all shy, her hands tapping together,
Yeah, she's doing the whole index finger to index finger thing.
Tap,
tap.
We should be friends in the game, and he thinks it's some conspiracy.
Of course he does.
Because
he doesn't trust anyone.
Why would the Attack Master want to be his friend in the game? And he's like, I'm going to show this person I'm going to be their friend in the game for some reason, because that makes sense.
But really, when it comes down to it, she bails him out a few times.
She does, yeah.
She shows up because on the friend list, you can call for help, and she's part of the #1 guild in the game. When certain events happen, Wolfgang gets on the radar of everyone.
Yes.
So every guild is now trying to seek them out, recruit, or even potentially get information.
Yeah,
because
everything.
They now have information on Lycagon. They now have information on Weathermon, and they now have information on these little Vorpal bunnies that travel around with people.
One Vorpal bunny. You don't see the Vorpal bunny travel around with anyone. Senraku's the only one that has this familiar.
And the rest of the community says, we need to know this information, and we are willing to trade, beg, borrow, or even kill for it.
Pretty much.
So all the different guilds are approaching it from different angles. It's really fun to watch. It's the focus remains on our main character, but we have good character development in the ones that are closer to him, and we have a very nice expansive world. Typically, you can't actually get all of the different factions and different people and world things that are going on and do them justice when you're focusing too much on a main character, and vice versa, but somehow they develop it all really well. Honestly, they would make a great video game if the production team that made this anime makes it. Any final closing thoughts from you?
It's really good. I really enjoyed watching it. I am super excited about watching season 2. Give it a shot. All right. I know some people aren't thrilled with the whole jumping into a video game, and it's the video game that the show's about. I like that, and the fantasy touch is great.
Yeah, no, it was exciting. It was entertaining. It was easy to watch. And another thing, too, is, yes, there are video game fights and everything, but there's no blood, so you can actually, it was one of those ones where I didn't feel the need to ever turn it off when Autumn joined us in the room, because, it was relatively clean for the type of thing it was, which I think adds some appeal to it, too. So it's probably, if you're looking to, the next step after you got your child into it, with Dragon Ball or One Piece or whatever, Shangri-La is probably a decent second step if you like it. But as a whole, it was nice. It's a nice adventure. It's a nice action adventure. It doesn't really speak to me on too great of levels as a whole, but it's a nice, fun watch that is well written.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, we met our main protagonist, the trash gamer Senraku. We explored the world of Shangri-La Frontier, and we met some of his friends, whether they be Don Visash, Emil, and Belok in Rabatuza, or whether they be Pencilgon and Katsu and Saiger Zero in the main storyline. We hope you had as much fun exploring the world of Shangri-La Frontier as we did, and consider watching this anime.
So if you like what you heard today, make sure you listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or wherever you stream your podcast. Listen to all of our J-Mill for Real podcasts. And hit us up on social media, like, subscribe, and follow. Once again, this was Exploring Anime with Friends. Let's explore together. And now for a word from our sponsors. Binbuster. Live from YouTube, it's Tuesday night, the call sign of the Binbuster YouTube channel. Once you hear this, you know you're about to embark on a journey through pop culture, movies, comics, and more. Buckle up and enjoy the ride every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. EST. Poppin' Cinema with Joe Mama and friends. Showcasing the power of cinema, join Joe Mama as he introduces different friends each week to a movie they have not seen before, popping their cinematic cherry as they talk about the movie they just watched every Tuesday at midnight.